All right, well, she's the daughter of world-renowned pastor T.D. Jakes, and despite living in his legacy, she has found her own voice. Author of Lost and Found, Sarah Jakes is joining me right now in studio to tell us all about your life experience. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, I've got quite an interesting story.
Yeah, but when you first sat down, I told you, I said, you know what? You, as a pastor's child, have different pressures, especially as a teenager, than anyone else. And then having your father's, he's not just, you know, just a pastor.
Yeah.
He is in the limelight 24/7. So your life had much more pressure than anyone else can imagine. Even though he was a wealthy man, you were saying your response to that when you hear that.
Yeah, people always say, you know, as a teen mother, I had my son at the age of 14, and they're like, you know, well, because of who your father is, it wasn't that difficult, and, you know, financially, you didn't have the struggles another mother has. And while that may be true to a certain extent, the other mother didn't have her child in front of 36,000 people with them watching your every move and seeing how things turned out in your life. So you really just exchange one problem for another.
It's also assumed that you would be a Christian.
Yeah.
You have to be a Christian.
Exactly.
And that you'll live it. So how is your walk?
Well, I am one now, but I think it's unfair. Someone told me once that God doesn't have grandchildren, which means that at a certain point you have to know them for yourself. And so Lost and Found is really my opportunity to kind of share my story of growing and learning God.
I'm going to hold that book up right here because now this is your first book, right?
It is.
Okay, how does it feel now? I mean, this just came out recently.
Incredible. I started blogging 3 years ago, and I thought it would just be me sharing my feelings. I didn't think anyone would ever see it, and now I'm on this incredible media tour and so excited to share my story with others. And
okay, now a lot of people will say, okay, well, your father helped you push this book through. I mean, it's all because of your father, and that's the reason why. Is that true?
Well, I have 4 other siblings, so I don't think that that's true. I think that it was really, one, my willingness to share my story and be as transparent as I have been, and then the blog really did help. So in 3 months, I had 1 million hits on the blog, and so I think people really just identified with the message.
And now, you said one child at 14.
Yeah.
And now, but that's not it, though.
Yeah.
Tell me about your life now.
I got married, and I had a daughter. She's now 4 years old, and Malachi and Mackenzie, they're the light of my world.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sarah, thank you so much for coming in and also for sharing this. Lost and Found. You can pick it up everywhere.
Yeah,
really.
or come see me. I'm here in the DMV area. I'll be at Busboys on 14th Street on Friday, and then at Howard on Wednesday.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thank
we appreciate
you.
it. Thank you again for coming in. Of course, if you missed any of the information we gave you right there or how to pick up this book, just log on to foxbaltimore.com/morning.